If I want to cut out this car using the pen tool in Photoshop because maybe my other automatic selection tools aren't working, I'm going to show you very quickly how you can do that, and then we're going to go more in depth on how you can actually master this tool. So essentially I want to come over and we have the pen tool here. And if I hold down, you'll notice there's a few here. We just want to go with the standard pen tool. You can also hit P on your keyboard. And I'm going to zoom in. I like to hold down Alt and my mouse wheel to zoom in. Otherwise, you can use the zoom tool. But before I go ahead, I need to make sure I have the pen tool selected, but also go up to the properties bar here. You notice I have shape selected. What I need to do is make sure it's on path. On top of that, I also need to make sure I have auto add and delete ticked. And if you can't see the properties bar, just head to Windows and you can turn on properties here. But otherwise, I'm ready to start my path. So what I do is I come here and I find maybe a corner or a starting point because I'm going to click to create an anchor point. Now, if I just simply click again, I get this nice straight line. So I can click and kind of just create a nice straight path. But we have some curves up here. I want to move up, but I'm going to hold down spacebar for my hand tool. Just click and drag. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to where the curve starts. I'm going to click, hold, and drag to get this sort of curve. And you can see here as I do that, it creates a curve with that point. So I do that, and then I click here and I drag to create a curve. Now there are some other adjustments I'm going to touch on later, but for now, the simple process is I continue creating those anchor points, dragging, getting my curve right until I select the entire car. Notice I have a mistake here. We're going to come back and fix that in a minute. Now I go between clicking and dragging, so I can go click and drag for a curve, click and drag for a curve, click and drag again. You just need to practice to get a feel for how this works, but once I get to this straight line, I can just click for straight line, and go back to click and drag for my curves. Now I'm just going to speed ahead a little bit to cover some ground here. And now I've made my path. There are a few errors in that, but I'm going to touch on that later because I want to just cut onto the basic process. The first thing we need to do is create our path. And then we need to use that to cut out the car. Now there's a few different ways we can do this. We come up to our property bar, and because we have our path selected, we can click Make Selection. And we can also feather that to blur the edges. What we don't want to do that, so I'm going to click OK. And now we have a selection around the car, and we can come over and we can mask that. And it creates a nice mask, which is a bitmap. We can edit that, and our car is cut out. There's a few little errors. And you can see it's not perfect in some areas. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit Control-Z to undo. But instead of going to make selection, I'm going to hit Control-Z again to come back to our path. And what I'm going to do then is come to mask. So make mask. If I click make shape, it'll just create a layer with a shape on it, but I click make mask. And now we have a vector mask, which we can edit. That is essentially the main points of the process. We use the pen tool to create a path, and then we can either make a mask or we can make a selection and convert that into a bitmap mask. But this is where it starts to get interesting because I have here a vector mask for this car. And so what I can do is I still have the pen tool here. I can go and try some of these other tools, but I like just sticking with the normal pen tool. And you'll notice if I hold down Alt my mouse wheel to zoom in again, that we have this little error here. What I can do is if I just click on this point, you see there's a little minus next to the mouse cursor. I can click on that to delete the point altogether. And that hasn't done a bad job. It's not perfect, but I'm going to hit Control-Z. If I hold down Control, I can click on this point, and you'll notice that these little handles appear that make our curve. So now if I hold Control again, I can grab one handle and I can manipulate it, which has made a bit of a mess. So hit Control-Z again. But this time, if I hold down Alt, I can select one side and just adjust one side of the point. And so that means I can go through and edit these points after I've created them. So now we have a bit of a spot here, which isn't looking too good. I'm going to hold down Control, and I can actually hold down Control and move this point down. I can hold down Alt and just adjust this handle. I can also do the same with the other handle. And of course, I can go through and make those adjustments until I'm happy with the car. Overall, so far, it's looking pretty good. I'm just going to interrupt for a sec because of adding this in after making the video. But if I zoom in on these points here, now, like I said before, if I hover over a point, I have the ability to click and remove it. But on top of that, if I need a little more control, if I simply hover over the line, I can also see how there's a little plus symbol there. I can add a point. and then hold down Control and move that around as I see fit, including changing this here. So that is something else to consider when you're editing, is you can also add points in as you're going. Now keep in mind that because we have a vector mask, we can actually work on this path. We can also come over to the mask, right click and rasterize it if we want to turn it into a bitmap and edit it like a bitmap mask. So that means now I don't have the path there. I can come over to my brush tool, and as long as I have the path selected, I can actually go through and edit this with my brush. Now that's not really what we're after here. I'm going to hit Control Z. But that shows you how you can actually edit the mask after you've cut things out with the pen tool. But I also want to go a little bit more in depth by working with another image. But just quickly, this is a brand new Photoshop channel I've just launched, which is completely separate from the other channel I run. And if you want more tutorials like this, please subscribe, and I'll have more coming your way in the near future. Now we have a slightly different image, but this time we have some areas we need to cut out in here. So what we're going to do is we're coming over to our pen tool again, holding down Alt my mouse wheel, I zoom in, and I'm going to start from about here. Now, as before, I'm going to actually zoom in a bit more. I'm going to click, drag, and then I'm going to click to here. Now, I've clicked once, and I can just sort of keep going, because that's, as I'm ending a curve, what I want to do is I don't want to click and hold. If I click and hold, it continues that curve, but if I just click once, I can, for one, hold down space to move. I can continue in a different direction. Now, if I continue to do this, I like to click and drag along center points. So if I think that the center of the curve is about here, that's where I like to go if I'm going to try to select that. And a good tip is to try and select slightly inside so you don't get that little halo effect. But we can edit that if we want to. I'm going to click and drag. Now this is a reasonably straight line, but I'm still going to give it a little bit of a drag to try and capture that dip. Now if I click on this and drag by mistake, I go to click. Now we notice we have this issue with the curve. There are two ways that I can handle this. For one, making sure we have history turned on. You can go into Window and turn on history. I can actually see every anchor point I've created, and I can track back to where I want to go. Also just Control Z. You can try Control Z as well, or Control Shift Z to redo. But there's actually no reason for us to do that, because I can hold down Alt, hover over this handle, and just move that one side. Keeping in mind, if I go undo again, if I don't hold down Alt and just move the handle, we don't always get what we're after. I can hold down Control, but Control moves both sides of the handle while we're editing. The same as we did before when we were adjusting the vector mask. So I hold down Alt, drag this up to adjust that curve. From there, I can continue to click and drag and make my selections. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and select the outside of this man. Now again, we see we have some motion blur here. I just wanted to mention, again, trying to keep it off the motion blur is going to remove a lot of that halo. So you want to try and make sure we're cutting in ever so slightly, but not far, so that way when we cut this out, we don't get that white glow. If you get to the edge of the document, I recommend just clicking into the outside area, the gray area here. Come across until you want to re-enter the page, or simply click on the outside area again, and then I can just click back into the page to resume cutting from there. But again, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the rest of the outside of this man. And now as I get towards the end of the path, I just simply click on the point I started at to finish that off. Now I'm going to zoom out because we have our path here. However, we have some openings here that we need to take care of as well. So the good news is I can just zoom in and continue to draw in those areas. So I've cut one area, I then move on to the next. And now I've cut out those areas. Now there may be more, although that's pretty much all of them. So once I'm ready now, you'll notice that I have these different paths here. If I come over to my layers panel, I also have paths here. And again, if you don't see that, head to Window, and you have paths here. I'm going to click on that, and you'll notice I have a work path. Now, this means if I'm not ready to simply make this into a mask, like that, I'm going to hit Undo, Control Z, I can actually leave this work path here and come back to it. So I can come in, maybe I decide I want to import a background, so I'm going to go, maybe I click off completely to my brush tool. So maybe I grab this image, just pop it in, and I pop it in behind him. Now I head back to my paths section. Now I can still control click on this path, go to my layers, and as long as I have my man selected, I can still mask it using the Bitmap mask, or I can hit Control Z, come back to our paths, and as long as I just simply click on the work path, I'm going to hit Control D to deselect. But if I simply just click on the work path, we still have our normal tools up here, so we can convert that into a vector mask. Now, one of the reasons I think this is really cool is if I click off, we can see it blends in reasonably well, but if I do need to make some adjustments, I can come up to my mask, keeping in mind that I can still edit this with the path tool as we did earlier in the video. But another option is to right click, rasterize, and once it's rasterized, I can right click again and go to select and mask. And that gives us some options to work with our mask and blend it more. So if I wanted to, I can go for color aware or object aware. So essentially what this does is I can make adjustments based on what objects are in the image or what colors in the image. Now notice the background is slightly darkened. I can actually make that even darker if I want to, so we can start to see some of those halos popping out. But I'm going to go with object aware. Click OK. And with edge detection, I can crank that up, and you'll notice how it sort of starts to pull some of the information away from the hands and away from the edges. So if I need to, I can try that to blend it in a bit. But notice how we have this little sort of like halo on the headphones here. I can get my zoom tool, zoom in, and we still have a bit of a halo there. So what I can do is I can take Shift Edge and shift the edge in a little bit. I can increase the contrast of the mask to get like a harder edge. I can also feather to soften the edge a bit. See how he starts to fade out there? We have all these other options here. We can also just simply smooth it out. But we can use these to adjust our mask once we've created them. Now, we're focusing mostly on the pen tool today, but I just wanted to mention, I'm just going to zoom out, that is available to you if you want to make edits. Now, notice how we still have a section over here we need to get rid of. If I click OK, I can still come in and use the pen tool to get rid of that as well. So if I come over, choose the pen tool, select again, I can make selection here, or I can go back at any time to my paths panel, hold Control and click on that path. I can go back to my layers. Whatever way you select it is up to you. Probably going to make selection is going to be the fastest. But by clicking on my mask and making sure I have black as the right bottom color, I can just come up to my eraser. And because we rasterize that mask, I can just use my eraser to cut that out. And that hasn't made a big difference because the background's the same color. But if I move this background up, you'll see it's now cut out. So that should give you a bit of an idea on how to use the mask tool more effectively when you're cutting out in Photoshop. It is one of the most precise ways to cut things out, and it's a great fallback if a lot of the more automated options don't work. So hope you found that video useful. If you did, please consider liking, please subscribe. This is a brand new channel, so I'm trying to grow this as a side channel away from my other channel, which focuses more on AI. But otherwise, that's the video for today, guys. I hope you found it useful. But thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon, and have a great day.